Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peyton Perry.
I'm Mariana de Balsamo.
I'm Mary Farag.
And I'm Michaela Bengoran.
We are here today to share with you some findings from our research, which examine Americans' attitudes towards the push for police reform. We will start by discussing our research objectives, followed by the social and significance to the field. Then we will discuss our methods and findings, and lastly, we will discuss the limitations of our study and future research. Recent events involving questionable police officer use of force on Black citizens have captured the attention of many Americans. This has resulted in numerous protests across the country and calls for reforming policing in the United States. The goal of this project was to assess perceptions of various types of police reform. This led us to 3 research questions. Do Americans favor police reform? What types of police reform do Americans want? And are there racial differences in support for police reform? Our approach to this study was through a cross-sectional mixed method analysis of self-report survey data collected from 1,093 U.S. residents.
This study is aimed to help inform policymakers. Police serve the public, and with this research, we can help policymakers learn the types of policing strategies the public supports. Due to national attention toward police reform, it is imperative to understand public perceptions of police, to subsequently improve police and community relations, increase the protection of and safety of the public, and enhance proper police accountability. The research helps to fill gaps in the literature by exploring public perception of police, including attitudes toward reform, using a nationally representative sample.
Data were collected from a sample of U.S. residents. In all, a total of 1,093 respondents participated in this study. Most participants identified as female at 52% and white at 58%. The average age of the participant was 43 years old. An original survey was created for data collection. Questions consisted of a Likert scale and text entry items designed to assess public attitudes relating to police reform. Quantitative analysis proceeded in 3 key steps. First, all data were cleaned and coded. Second, preliminary analyses were run to assess measures of central tendency and dispersion. Third, bivariate analyses were run to assess relationships between key variables of interest. Qualitative analyses started with open coding responses to 1 text entry questions. Then, 5 research analyzed the data using thematic analysis. Themes were coded dichotomously, and then frequency statistics analyzed.
Approximately 65% of residents desired reforms being made to their local department. As shown in Figure 1, there were racial differences in support for reform. Findings show that Black participants expressed the most desire for reform, followed by those who identified as other, Hispanic, Asian, and white. As displayed in Table 1, results from the quantitative analyses indicated that the top 5 most supported types of reforms were equipping officers with body-worn cameras, training officers in de-escalation techniques, mental illness, substance use addiction, and having officers focus on serving the public. There were a total of 551 usable text entry responses. Results from the qualitative thematic analysis revealed 8 themes indicated when discussing police reforms. These themes were training, reduction in force, community integration and response, mental health training, reduced discretion, reallocation of money, reduction of prejudice views, and I don't know. Some examples of these text entry responses include teach them how to deal with the public before doing anything else. I would like to see officers have mental health trainings. The police abuse their power and have prejudice against those of color, and they should allocate the funds to social services for mental health issues.
There were 2 key findings in our analysis. The first is that 2 out of 3 Americans support police reform. 2 out of 3 Americans do not support defunding the police, and even fewer support abolishing the police. There is broad support for body-worn cameras, training and de-escalation, substance use, and mental health. The second key finding is compared to other racial groups, non-white respondents had greater support for police reform, defunding, and abolishing police. State legislators should consider supporting empirically driven reform and not defund the police. Future qualitative research could expand on the respondents' opinions on police reform through in-depth interviews. Thank you.